Yo, we back live, man. Another episode with a special guest.
Special guest appearance.
Miss Keyara. Go ahead and introduce yours. First, we gotta do the rogie,
It's rogie. Look. It was Kiara's idea. She talked to us before. She said, we're gonna do a little mimosa. We're gonna do something early. So look, we mimosas, all right?
It's 11 a.m., so we gotta drink mimosas.
11 a.m. on a weekday. Come on, a weekend. You gotta do it.
We gotta drink the mimosas.
Gotta do it.
Might have to go to brunch after this. I don't know.
For sure.
Listen, that's what I'm thinking about, getting a good little eats after this. But how y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing. How are you?
I'm tired.
So I'm feeling amazing.
I'm feeling amazing. I had a very sick week. I was very sick all week, so I'm feeling good. I'm really feeling good.
I need that energy. I was up until like 3 o'clock this morning. I woke up at 8 o'clock. I just can't sleep past 9 o'clock. So no matter what time I fall asleep, it's not past 9.
That's how it be nowadays. I woke up at 8. I can't be late. I gotta make sure I'm on time, even though I was a little tiny bit late.
We appreciate that. That was us. I was late for real. I just had to get my little orange juice to get my mimosas ready.
Here we go. Now we lit.
How you
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. But,
I literally just said how you feeling.
It's okay.
I literally asked. At least I asked.
I'm doing good though, y'all. You ain't seeing the Elite Eight, man. You ain't seeing the Elite Eight. But
that was a crazy.
It's not about me today. It's about Keyara. So go ahead, just give a little bit, a brief summary of like what you do, and we gonna dive in.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Keyara Overton. I'm a graduate of the illustrious North Carolina A&T. I'm the co-founder of Married to Travel. I'm a full-time trader right now. What else? And I'm a dog mommy. Yes.
Okay, dog mommy. I know the dog lovers out there is going to love this.
What type of dog you got?
I have a cockapoo, and he's over here being a crazy person. He's crazy. Yeah, cockapoo, cocker spaniel, and poodle.
I gotta look that one. I know it's a small one though, for sure.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I know that's a little dog.
He looks close to a golden doodle, but he's an off-brand version.
Oh, bro.
He's close.
I'm learning a lot about dogs this morning because I know like the basic generics one, Yorkie, Pits, and a Frenchie or some shit.
And a Frenchie.
Yeah, straight up. Everybody got the
Frenchie. He looks like a poodle for the most part.
Like a poodle. Okay, cool. So let's talk about your trading though. So like, what kind of got you into that? Because I know I tried the trading stuff, and it's a lot of, I don't like when I lose. I don't like when I lose money.
Yeah.
It ain't a good feeling. So like, what got you into that?
So I got into trading back in 2018. It was right after I had finished doing this network marketing company, and I had heard about this other company that
called
IML. Well, I was doing this company called Legal Shield.
Okay. I was on the Legal Shield too.
I was doing Legal Shield, and during the time that I was in Legal Shield, my uplines in the business, some of the uplines were always telling us to stay away from this other company, but I didn't really know what it was. I just knew that they were like doing something on charts and stuff like that. But I ended up, once I left Legal Shield and like finally was like ready to open my eyes, I was like, okay, what is this other company? What is it? So I found out about trading then, but I didn't realize like you didn't have to be a part of the company to trade at first. So at first I had joined the company, and then when I realized I didn't have to be a part of it to learn how to trade, and I realized like they're selling an academy and I want to actually learn how to have this skill set. I took the time on my own. Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm sorry. I'm just, it was it Forex?
Yes, Forex. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was the elephant in the room. I didn't
specify Forex. So the company was IML, but again, I didn't know that Forex was separate from IML at that time, back in 2018. But then once I figured that out and I started doing more research on the markets, because I'm a type of person, like, I want to really know if I'm going to be selling something, I want to know how to do what it is. Like, sure. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to sell this academy if I didn't know how to trade myself. But then at some point I realized nobody in this company really knows how to trade. They all are just selling this academy. So I left that company and then realized like trading. There's real people out here trading, making money from their phone. Like, this is freaking crazy. So for 3 years, I was losing though. I was winning a little bit, but I wasn't profitable. So for 3 years straight, I just kept going after it. But I had to figure this out because I was like, they're making money from their phone. Like, I gotta figure this out. No matter how long it takes me, I gotta do this because I really have a big passion for traveling. And I was like, I don't know what job I'm gonna be able to work and travel as much as I want to. So I really got to learn how to trade. So yeah.
See, and like, that's a good thing that you said that, because the Forex stuff, like, for one, the Legal Shield, if you was an A&T around 2018, that whole little time period, they was going hard with the Legal Shield.
We was going real hard.
I was a Legal Shield client, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Legal Shield saved my life. Like, no funny.
No, it's real. People didn't.
No, he just sounded like he was on a commercial. They talk about Legal Shield, but it really saved my life.
No, for real. Because, you know, at the moment, I wasn't necessarily like being an active as far as like getting people to sign on and stuff, but I utilize all the services. Like, I used to get pulled over all the time coming from DC to North Carolina. And y'all, well, for the people who don't know, outside of, I guess, the DMV area, you have to go to court when you get tickets. So, like, just imagine I'm in the midst of, like, motherfucking Virginia, just anywhere in Virginia. I'm all the way in North Carolina, and I got to come back for a court date. You know what I mean? We in school, it was an inconvenience. You know, so, you know what I do? Legal Shield? I need you to represent me. You feel me? All right? On-call lawyers, real. I never had to go to court a day in my life. All I had to do was they'd tell me how much my fees was, how much the court fees was, and the case was closed, man. So it wasn't all bad with Legal Shield.
It really wasn't, though. It really wasn't. Because even for me, like, my integrity is a very big a part of who I am. And like, I would never sell anything that I felt like actually was something that people couldn't utilize. So even I utilized Legal Shield for something. Someone owed me money and I was able to have them draft up a contract for me, find that person and be able to send them this contract that they have to sign now and owe me this money. Like, the service actually was pretty good.
See, that's tough. Cause like, and it's good. Like, some of the stuff, like, I actually have functionality to it, right? Like, you can actually use it in real life. And then just like how you kind of talked about with IML, right? That, like, because with me, I always been like a independent type person where it's like, I don't need to join a team if I want to learn how to trade. I always thought about that, and I did my own research. So I understood, like, a lot of people were just saying, like, yeah, you can do Forex by independently, but you don't have to do the you know, the IML stuff. But I would have like individuals who are in IML, and you try to like reach out, and it's just like, instead of like
they're trying to info, put you into that.
Yeah, like, let me, you could join my team and I give you the info instead of like me actually teaching you. And then when you get into it, because I have joined one before, like you said, they don't really like teach it. They're not really sitting there.
Their main focus isn't trying to teach you how to fish for real. They're not trying to teach you how to be independent. They're trying to teach you to be reliant upon their products and their signals so that you keep paying this membership. And that's a great business model, you know, like, that is a great business model. You want people to keep paying for something, but when you know what's in front of you with Forex, it's like, learn how to do this shit on your own, because it doesn't matter how long it takes you to learn. If you learn how to make an extra $100 a day from your phone, like, in your free time, come on now, like, that's an invaluable skill to have. Like, that's a
question for you. Why didn't, like, you get swayed? Because a lot of people, especially at A&T, were doing Forex. Like, we knew a lot of people, especially friends, like close friends, who were doing it, who were very, like, I'm not gonna say aggressive with their approach, but they were very assertive, trying to bring people on. So you never felt like the need to get swayed to do it?
No, because to be honest with you, I had already felt like I had been that person with Legal Shield at one point. So I was like, I kind of know now, like, you don't need to be a part of any of these groups. And I understand what network marketing really is about. It's for people that, and I don't want to generalize everybody, but for the majority, network marketing is about having those accolades, being able to get on stage and feel like somebody and really have a team and feel like a leader and all of those things. That's really what it is. But when you know you're that already, you're not easily swayed by other people trying to get you into something. And then one thing about me, I'm very thorough in the questions I may ask somebody. If I ask you what Forex is, most of these people couldn't even explain what Forex actually was to me. All they could do is talk about this company. This company and Forex, that's two completely separate things that a lot of people, even still to this day, don't understand. You don't need IML.
I'm sorry, that's just, that's facts. That's facts.
A lot of people do mix the entities up.
They make it all into one. And I used to hate that because I'm like, I didn't even want to tell people I was trading Forex for a long time because they automatically assumed that I was about to try to recruit them into some company or any of those things. And I'm like, look, you don't got to do nothing I'm doing. I can make money by myself and you can make money too. But the big thing with Forex for me was that you can be an individual and do your own thing. Your success was just determined on what you were going to do, what you were going to bring to the table. Your success doesn't have nothing to do with if you joined a company or any of these things helped people. After doing network marketing and doing Legal Shield, I was something where I could be independent and my success could only be based off of me, because while I was doing Legal Shield, I was drained because I was helping so many people try to get to certain heights. And sometimes some people don't see the potential that you see in them and you end up dragging them along and really pulling too much weight, you know? So Forex was something that I could do by myself, and I like that.
And I feel like the main thing to kind of like get everybody where you get like whenever you hear the word Forex, you kind of get like a bad impression.
It's a bad name.
It's a bad name now.
Like, it really is.
Bad name. I don't tell nobody.
It's literally, but you can only blame social media because, right? It's like a blessing and a curse for Forex because with social media, you kind of get that exposure. So you get more people to like, you know, I guess put more volatility. I'm not saying the right word, but put more volume into the market, right?
Right.
More people are jumping into it and seeing it. But then you got the people who are like the Forex people who kind of like are bashing you if you're not jumping in, or you kind of like making it seem like they better than you. Like, you know what? Right. I got X, Y, and Z. What the hell are you waiting on? And it's just
that's the IML people. It's not even the social media. It's the IML people and their ignorance and how they weren't even able to describe what this actually was. It was the blind leading the blind. Like you just getting somebody to sign up and telling them, oh, you about to be a boss, you about to be an independent business owner, whatever. I'm about to tell this next person like, oh, you ain't shit. You ready to go spend all your money on Jordans? Like, no, you really don't want to make no money. Like this, it's a whole bunch of brainwashing. It's like a lot of brainwashing is really what it's very
cult.
It's very cultish. And like the thing about it, at the end of the day, like I say though, it's only up to, I'm not here to persuade nobody. Like, I'm not saying it for being on the show, but I'm saying like, even when I was trading, I'm like, I'm not here to persuade you or nothing. I would tell people about Forex because it has been a blessing to my life thus far. And I knew it would be a blessing to anybody's life to learn this type of skill, like investing, period. I don't care whether you do Forex, stocks, just crypto, whatever it is, we need to be investing. Like we have to be investing. That's what I preach to everybody. But I do hate that it got such a negative connotation attached to it now because of the ignorance of those people in that company, because that's really what it was. And then after people show their ignorance, now we can blame social media to say, we laughing at your ignorance, and now we never gonna actually believe what you're saying or what this is about, because we've already got our own thought on it. We've already made up our mind on what it is.
I think that's interesting because I feel that is where a lot of people go wrong when trying to like persuade people to do things. Yeah. Like we got a friend of ours who's a pastor. I tell him this on the side all the time, right? The biggest reason why people think that, you know, I grew up religious. I grew up going to church. And I tell him the biggest reason why people don't believe in the church.
We hear him
okay, hold on.
Rogie for the
But yeah, I believe like the problem is with people when they try to like sway somebody to do something is like the approach. I think that's the biggest thing that most people fail at. Like they don't necessarily know how to approach situations. And it can be for a lot of reasons. Like if you grew up in a church and you're dealing with somebody who never been to church, you guys come from two completely different backgrounds and have two completely different stances. So when you're approaching them and try to get them to get to know God, you cannot approach them as somebody who at least has an understanding of the background. Like it got to be like, you got to come at them a certain way that they can basically understand. And with Forex, I felt that so many people, you're trying to demean me, but then want me to sign up.
Exactly.
You basically, you're telling me that, oh, I'm a failure because I'm not maximizing my money the way you all believe that I should do. And then not only that, I'm supposed to join a team of people I don't know.
Right.
Literally.
And just be so willy-nilly,
Buddy.
like, oh, we're about to be a family, like we're about to be so united. And it's like, man, like, why would I want to join this?
That's people's problems when it comes to approaches, though. Even like how you said, when it comes to church, when it comes to business, when it comes to anything, I think everybody tries to preach what it does for them and how it will affect them and what it did for them, instead of trying to figure out how it resonates with somebody. Whenever you're trying to teach somebody something about something, like, you want them to feel it in their heart. Like, you want them to figure out what it can do for them. Whenever I tell people about Forex, I don't tell them everything it did. I mean, I'll tell you what it did for me, yes, but that's not supposed to sway you. Like, I want to know your plans. What do you want to do in life? Like, I can tell you how this can help you, but if you're sitting up there telling everybody how it just helped you, or what it did for you, same thing with the church, like, that doesn't resonate with anybody. Like, you have to meet somebody where they're at currently so that they can really see something, I feel like. So I think that's, like, when you say the approach thing, that's people's approach is just wrong. Like, they don't know how to approach situations like that.
And while we stand on the topic of like approaching, like, so throughout your journey, and you learned a lot, and a lot of people have seen that. Do you have people who've kind of like tried to communicate, reach out, and try to engage with you, try to learn their trading and things from you, as well as try to, because I know it's companies, and I might have seen things, I'm not sure if you still are doing that with trading with a company or whatnot, if you could, like,
the funding.
Yeah, correct. So
I don't have my funding right now anymore. Currently, I lost my funding. However, I was trading with funding for a company. So that's like a proprietary trading firm. But people on the side come to me all the time about education and stuff. And honestly, like I said, how I've been like emphasizing the independence I love about Forex, I don't want to teach anybody. I don't want to.
I spent
all this time.
I really had to rogue you to that.
I'm not even, one second. It's not because I'm against teaching people. I give people the resources all day long. I will tell you where I learned, what I did, but most people are not about to put the work in I put in to get here. So I don't have time to hold your hand, because I've been posting these resources the whole time I've been on my journey. If you wanted to wait to the end, not the end of my journey, because of course it's a long time thing, but if you wanted to wait till you finally saw success from me, when I think that's people's problem too, is
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
I understand it, but that's the one thing that makes me different from a lot of people, is I get on things early because I don't need to see your success. I can figure out what it can do for me. Like, all I need to know is that it works, that it makes money and it makes sense. I'll figure it out on my own. I need to see somebody with a $50,000 check before I start doing this. Like, the fuck, I'll be the one with the $50,000 check in a few years. Like, I don't have to wait to see somebody else do it. And most of the time when you do wait, that's when you're getting on late to shit. So I have friends now, and it's hilarious. Like, I have friends that will really say to me, like, they was like, I knew you was gonna figure it out, Key. So I was just gonna wait for you to figure it out, and then we was gonna be on by you. No, the hell you wasn't. I love you. I really do. But no, I will send you the same stuff that I took my time to learn. Time is so valuable to me. So the fact that no one understands, like, things like this take time. Anything, like any craft you have, it takes time, and people want handouts, and I hate that, because it's like, damn, this ain't a microwavable thing. Like, I really had to sit in the oven for a minute to do this. Like,
for sure. And people never gonna respect that journey, but always, like how you saying, they always want to have that shortcut, that passageway, because they see that you there. And I feel like that's what kind of be like ruining kind of friendships, or like, I would say, like, how you view other people, because it's like, damn, bro, you see me kind of putting in the sweat, tears. I'm struggling. I'm kind of going through all the failures, but fuck that. You want to kind of go right to when I'm winning, and then you like, I knew you was gonna do that so you can help us all, and then you make me look bad, or you feel some type of way if I say, nah, bro, this is me. This is I don't want to do it.
Can we talk about that real quick? Because I feel like that's an interesting point that you made, D. So when you're in a position to where you're independent, you're an entrepreneur or anything like that, and you put in the work to get to where you need to get, do you feel like, not that you owe your friends, but do you feel like somewhat of an obligation to like, all right, well, hey, say I done made it. This person might not necessarily be in this position. Well, here, I'll do this for you. Like, I had a friend of mine who was doing Forex. He was basically down bad. One of his people gave him like $3,000 to trade, right? And I thought that was a vital thing because it was like, oh, you know what I mean? Gave you $3,000 to trade. You can pay him back and profit. Like, right. You can definitely do that. But he blew all the money. See, so like
that's
now,
gonna get real touchy right there.
Right? So like now it's like, damn, I still need help.
Right.
Like I still need help. Like I took this chance because I think the problem is with friends is that friends honestly it's like at times they can just be more ambitious than hardworking.
Talk about that.
Now, hold on. Hey, I think that's a great quote right there. That's a hey, they more ambitious than hardworking. Because I think a lot of people mix those shits in too much, where it's just like you got all the dreams and goals, but instead of working towards that shit, you just rather talk about it, smoke about it, and just
right. People use ambition and people's drive interchangeably. I mean, they use that interchangeably instead of remembering work ethic. Like a lot of people can talk all day. And I used to say that when I was young. I'm like, I used to talk about how I wanted to be rich and I want to be all these things. And I'm like, we talk about that with our friends when we're young. And when we're young, we really don't have an idea of how we're going to do that. But once we start getting to a certain age, it's like everybody's saying they want to be rich, but what's your plan? Like, what are you thinking? And I'm not saying that you have to have it all figured out, but everyone's just, oh, I'm just going to be rich. How? Like, you got to have something. You got to be thinking about something. And a lot of people can talk all day about the things that they want to do, but they're not even trying to work toward that. And now I do understand that we're all in different phases and stuff of our life. I completely understand that. And I resonate with people with that. But like, we can't just sit and talk and smoke about it all day. Like, we really have to work behind this shit. Like, and going back to your point, Calvin, when it comes to, I don't feel like I have an obligation to anybody, because one thing that I've always done with all of my friends is I push everybody. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You want to do nails, I'm invested into your nail business. I will buy nail stuff for you and send that stuff over to you because I really value you as a friend and I want to see you go hard with that. Credit repair business, let's do more research on how we can knock off people's inquiries and stuff like that together. Like, all of my friends, you don't have to be doing what I'm doing, but I feel obligated to help you with whatever you want to do if you're putting the work for it. If you're not putting no best foot forward, then I'm not, like, it's all talk to me. Until I see you putting a little foot forward, then I'm definitely way behind you. Like, most of my friends will tell you that. That's how I am with my friends. Whatever you're trying to do, I'm trying to support that as long as you're actually trying to do it.
And I think that's a great trait, honestly, because a lot of people don't have, like, when you're trying to work towards someone, everybody need that support. Everybody need that, like, that push, you know what I'm saying? So, like, instead of me just want to sit here and talk about it with you, like, all right, that's cool, we can talk about it, but let me help you actually do some work. Yeah, let's put this into fruition. Let's game plan. Let's make this shit actually, like, practical. Because a lot of times, and I feel like that's just a problem with our community. The fact is that we like to talk and dream, because we don't think that it's possible or it's within the grasp or something, because we don't see people of our color doing. That's why we like to have different people on our podcast. So like people like that we can like who see this, they're gonna be like, damn, I even know like a black person can do this, a black person doing that, or we just shedding light on that. So I think that is like something important. And then so let's talk about like your traveling business though. So
yeah, where's the transition? Like how'd you transition?
So I always knew that I wanted to like do like trade, travel, transform type of thing. Like that's what I want, like my brand to be in the future, is kind of like, I maybe like right now I don't want to show people how to trade. Maybe in the future though, I'll show people how to trade then, and then traveling, like I said, and then like transforming their lives and learning about personal development and different financial literacy things. So when it came into transitioning into traveling, I've always been somebody that would plan the group trips for me and my friends. Like that was always me. And I always was the glue where I would bring random people together. Like I knew which one of my friends from this group and that group and that group would all be able to mingle together.
Same.
Like that's one thing I really pride myself in, because I love introducing people to each other. And I love like the connections that they'll form outside of like me being there. Like I think that's so dope. So when it came to my travel business, I honestly couldn't, for one, I'm not, like I said, I'm a co-founder of my business. I had the idea for a very long time. I was like married to travel. Like if you know me, then you know my social media name is Married To. And basically like what that Married To is having that passion, like that very strong passion and love for something. So me and my money, and then me and traveling. Like when my first trip, I think it was in 2018, my first international trip, I was like, yeah, I have to do this like a lot. And I have to bring people. I want Black people to see the world. Like some of my friends had never even been on a plane until they got to college. And I'm like, with Married to Travel, I hope that like right now it's about the group trips and the family orientation and getting everybody together and getting people to see different cultures. But in the future, I hope that it can be something where we're having mission trips, where I'm having young high school students, we're sponsoring high school kids going on trips internationally. Like I want people to really see the world, because I'm rambling now, but traveling really is
a platform for it, man.
Traveling is like so important to me, because the things that I've learned traveling, the lessons I've learned are just so valuable. And I think the biggest thing that you learn traveling is you realize how ignorant a lot of people are. And they're not ignorant because they want to be, they're ignorant because they haven't got to see the world.
Right.
Like people have to be able to see the world to understand some things. Like even just something so small, when I was in the Dominican Republic a few weeks ago, I made a Russian friend. And this is funny to me because especially with everything going on right now, you know, people will be like, why are you talking to Russian people? Like, what the hell is wrong with you or something like that. And even before this, that was the one place I said I never wanted to go to because I was ignorant.
Yeah, the DR people told me that you're getting snatched, you're getting shot.
Like don't go there. Russia, I'm talking about Russia. I was like, I don't want to go to Russia. I don't want to meet no Russian people.
I wouldn't want to go to Russia.
I was ignorant, but I made a Russian friend in DR. It was crazy. I needed a lighter on the beach because I was about to smoke, and I met somebody, and they had a lighter. I was like, come smoke with me. We invited him out to go party with us that night. I travel like this. Y'all don't think I'm crazy, but
I was about to say you let him hit that J, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, we let him hit that. He had the lighter. Like when I'm traveling, I'll be very friendly. So that's when I travel, I want people to have a good time. But anyways, it was crazy because this showing my ignorance right now. Like I said, I just had this negative connotation of Russia in general. Like just, I don't know why, just because of, I guess, what we have in the USA, what we think about it. When I meet this guy and he's telling me he's only 24 years old and he's running away from the war in Russia because right now they're sending everyone his age in Russia to go fight people in Ukraine, and those are his brothers to him. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. At 24 years old, when my problems at 24 is, dang, where the hell I'm going to next? He has to figure out how to leave his country with $1,000 to escape to go somewhere else and begin his life anew. Like that's freaking crazy.
Was you gonna help him? Would you?
No, I don't know help him. I'm gonna give you a good time while we together though. He wasn't trying to ask me for money though. He wasn't trying to ask me for money or anything like that. It wasn't that type of situation, but just like meeting him and getting to hear his story and all of that stuff, like that's really important to me. And whenever I travel, I pretty much have an experience like that where I like to really get the local experience, and I like to really get a cultural feel for everything. Granted, he was from Russia, not DR, but just in general, I like to meet people and just hear where they're from and stuff.
You're never scared though, because I mean, let's just be honest. Well, I can speak to this personally. My family's from Trinidad, and like everywhere else's view of Americans is not the way we view each other.
Right.
So like when you go into a different place, they kind of don't like you. Like you're already going into a situation where somebody doesn't like you. Like, do you ever feel just nervous traveling to certain countries, like with everything that's going on?
I honestly don't, like, because at the end of the day, that's what we think, is that people don't like us. But the thing is, in reality, when you meet people, everyone just kind of wants a good experience with the person that they're meeting. They just want to like meet somebody that's going to be able to give them a good time. Like, even when I meet people, I'm just like, the people that come on our trips, I just hope you came with good vibes, because you already knew that we're here to turn up, mingle, and have a good time with each other. So it's like, when I travel to other places, especially places that where it's a lot of touristy places, those people, they don't like mean, ignorant Americans that are rude. They don't like them. But if you're friendly and you're kind and stuff, then people are kind to you everywhere you go. Kindness is actually universal. And one thing I realized is everybody connects via soul connections. Like, and not to get all deep on everybody, but like, we all can be from different places and have, you know, different upbringings, but we can connect on something. And it really is that kindness and just humanity in general. Like, just connecting over regular basic things, people can talk over anything. So I'm never
Brogy. I love that.
Like,
she went get the soul.
I just feel like we all can connect somewhere. Like, we can connect and understand people. It's about having empathy, you know, like, I'm never scared though, because at the end of the day, and I posted this on my story because everybody thought I was crazy for hanging out with this person. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna have to start a series where I do story times with everybody I met traveling, so y'all understand I do this all the time.
I was gonna say, we had somebody on who vlogs their vacations. If you have an interesting encounters like that, the fact that I know you talking to people, vlog it.
I vlog. I have a YouTube channel and I vlog. I'm such a live in the moment person. It's so hard sometimes because like I can't even describe some of these connections I make. Like, I can't even tell y'all. I will meet somebody. I met some girls. For example, I met some girls on this ferry in Belize. They had on Air Force One. So I was like, they gotta be from back home. All I said was, hey, what's your name? Where you from? I hung out with them the whole rest of the trip. I ended up on some boat with them. We were in a sandbar. We went to 2 different islands from some people we met. Like when I tell you, I do the most random stuff when I travel, because like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not that spontaneous when I'm home, but when I'm traveling, I'm like, let's do whatever. But what I was about to say, what I posted on my story that day, why everybody was so concerned about me, is one thing I feel is like, we only have one life to live. And I pray that I get to do everything that I ever dreamed of and desired in this lifetime. And I can't live a life in fear, like with anything. Like when it comes, like I said, when it comes to me tackling business adventures, I don't wait. I mean, business ventures, I don't wait to see what somebody else did, because I can fall on my face and get back up again myself and figure it out. Like, I don't need to wait. Like, I'm not fearful in life. I want to be able to just go out there and say that I tried, you know? So when it comes to traveling, saying that I tried to have a good time, I tried to meet people and all of that, like my last day here on this earth, I just want to know that I was doing something that I love to do. So, and I just feel like God has a hedge of protection around me at all times. So it doesn't matter where I'm at. Like, I know that God's watching over me, and if it's not, then God forbid, but that was my time. I know it sounds sad, but like, then that was just your time. Like,
see, I mean, I ain't gonna, you know, I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to be like, it's a good Sunday morning. I don't want you to say it like that. But I do understand what you're saying though. And I think, like, and at one point that you said too, now I wanted to make sure I remember, because it kind of rings a bell, just not even internationally, but like people, like your local people that you'll see, right? How if you kind of like go out and get out of your comfort zone, you have to kind of like interact and learn the things. Like you say how like people haven't been out the country, and then you kind of learn new things, or your perspective changes. Yes. I think that's just like, even if you're going to a different state or whatnot, because like I say, me, I never like, I would drive on vacation to places like Virginia Beach or some shit, or like Pennsylvania or something, but like I never like went out like to Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida, all that as a child. I did that in college. And like me going to North Carolina, like when I went to A&T, my first day, like how Stat said in the last episode, my first day was just orientation. So I ain't never know what North Carolina was like. I was down here and I'm like, all right, this is my school, we're gonna rock out. But like being down there in a whole different like environment, and where you meeting people from all over, your whole perspective change about how you approach things or how you doing stuff. Like yeah, in DC I move like this, but it's not the way like life supposed to live. Like you can have a different perspective, like, and that's kind of why I love living in Florida, because you got a lot of people from different type of like islands and nationalities. Yeah, and they all come right here. So it's just like I'm having conversation with them, and I'm learning, okay, how things are like with them, how things are like with me, and that's kind of like opening my perspective and making me more friendly and stuff. And I think that's like a great thing that you try to do, to try to like make sure that you can get people out there, because I feel like if people have more exposure to everybody that's out there, not just like locally, I feel like everybody will have a better understanding of this shit, like being more open. And
I just wanted to piggyback on that. Great point. I feel like one thing people do, like, or excuse me, people take for granted is the impact of exposure. Like, we ignorant. A lot of like people are ignorant, and obviously we just mean ignorant as far as not knowing. I remember like we talk about it all the time. D and I, like, going to North Carolina, understanding that I don't have to have my guard up this much. Like, that helps me a lot in life now. You feel me? Because a lot of the endeavors and, you know, business meetings or things that we get involved in, I'm able to relax a little bit and just like calmly approach the situation versus just this nigga trying to get up on me, this nigga trying to get over on me, he trying to finesse me. That's the first thing I'm thinking with everybody. Oh, he trying to finesse me, get over. What's his motive? What he got up his sleeve, you know? Versus now, just like, damn, like he just sees some potential in me, or sees some potential in what I'm doing, and he wants to discuss it. And I believe like that, like he, you know, just everything D was saying is like correct. I think it's something that is overlooked. Like, go out and see some shit. Please, like, go out and see some shit. Anybody. Like, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, me and my man, we used to take random trips to New York on the bus one day. One day, like, you know what, let's just go get on the motherfucking Greyhound, go to the bus. Me and my boy, we all in Brooklyn, Queens, don't know where we at. End up in Chinatown. But we seen it's crazy. We seen a former movie director. We was walking past in Brooklyn. A former movie director was having a thrift giveaway. Basically of all her old movie set clothes and stuff. I got some real nice Calvin Klein hoodies and shit, and like a classic bucket hat. But it's like, you know, these are things that I remember forever. Like, you know, like real live. And I just think a lot of people are so comfortable within their box or so comfortable within their element that the hardest thing, like we always talk about, to do is get outside your comfortability. So if you really want to gain, like, to me, I just think that that's the beauty in life. Like, that is what you here for. Like, you here to see all this shit.
And to meet people, like, because I think the funniest thing ever when I first got to North Carolina and really realizing how people up north are compared to people down south, like, people staring at us down south or coming up to us and we don't know them, we like, why are you talking to me? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, we're confused. And I think the funniest thing would be like, I feel like we realized once we got to college, like, you guys probably can go around different people, different guys, and mingle, like, talk to them and be cool. But if you brought some of your friends from back home around some people, they'll be like, what you mean you want to talk to me?
It's like, it's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, like, what is this? Like, that's the funniest thing ever to me when I'll bring like my friends, my guy friends from home around my friends from school, because they don't, my guy friends from home, like, they're so cliquey. Like, everybody back home is so cliquey. No new friends, no new niggas, no new anybody around us. And like you said, they're just, they got to be out to get me or something. Like, why they being so friendly? But after going to school, we realized, like, we could talk to anybody. Like, oh, you went to A&T, what's up? Like,
see, and it really clicked my head, because like, literally, this is how you could tell, like, back home is entirely different. Because if I'm at school, somebody coming up and say what's up to me, like, you know, like, of course everybody looking to make sure you good, but ain't nobody gonna like try to press up and do nothing. I remember I went back home. I forgot the little, it's like the little go-go of Fort Washington or whatever. XIB and ABM was playing. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go up 2-1 and over. My first little J, fuck it, I'm there. I'm there. All right. So I'm there. We drinking. I'm in the corner cooling. I'm on my phone. I was bullshitting, I won't lie. So I'm on my phone. They were just setting up. But my man, I know him from a brick. he was like a janitor in my old high school, but that's my man. So he was a young nigga. He come up, he walking up to me. They don't know him though. He walking up to me, and my man like, "Ho, what's up with you, bro?" I'm like, and I'm looking like, "Ho, what's going on?" I'm like, "Ho, that's my man's, bro. Like, calm down, that's my man's, bro. It's not that deep." And like I can kind of see like you saying, like back home, people gonna be a little bit different, and it's like they never gonna know how to act, bro. They never. It's just how they raise and stuff.
Exactly, exposure.
Exactly that, and it starts you at a good point, right? Like a lot of people don't want to get out that box, but like in life, sometimes you need that helping hand, and I think that's what your company. That's that helping hand, honestly. Yeah. Like I'm giving you all the platform, all the means of like getting out here, seeing the world, because we only live life once, right?
Once.
You really want to see everything. That's what I had to get out there, because I'm like, I be trying to save money. I'm like, experiences cannot be replaced, but money can. Money can. So it's just like,
I got that. You ain't lying, bro.
I can talk all day about, like, I have so many stories, like, and it's crazy, just all through experience. And that's the stuff I value the most. Like the stories I have to tell right now. That's why I say, like, the things I do while I'm traveling, I'm gonna be able to tell my great grandkids and all of them, just be like, yo, I used to live the craziest life. Like, it isn't really that crazy to me, the stuff I do, but to everybody else is so crazy, meeting new people and going out to dinner with someone you just met. They think that's crazy, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that's what life's about.
Because you used to that though. Because like once you go out that box and you out there kind of like venturing out doing your thing, that's when it's come like, it's like, all right, this is a not you thing for me. Now I can talk to whoever. But when you like in that box and you looking, and like, God damn, that girl just talking like she over there eating dinner with them random people. Like, what the hell? Like,
people
all have a friendly bone. Like, that's the funny thing, is we all want to talk to people deep down, but most people are just scared. Like, I don't know if y'all ever would see the thing where they'll be like, girls can make 1 million new friends in the bathroom at the club when they drunk and stuff. Like, we really could, because that's the time when everybody just let loose and will talk to everybody. But you realize most people are kind deep down and they want to talk to people. They just have a guard up always. And like, that's what you really have to do in life, is let your guard, still be smart, use discernment with the people you're dealing with, but you still, like, you gotta let your guard down. Like,
I remember, my bad, I was just gonna say, when we was in high school, right, it was just, I just thought about it, but basically my friends and I, we were the only ones who used to dance at the go-go in the beginning, right? Like, everybody would sit down, and like, this was always like a symbolic thing for me, even back then, to like, let me understand like what I can do now. Is so basically I would be the one to start it.
You was that in college too.
Like I'm always the one to start, because you want to know the interesting thing, like she said, the same way people want to be nice, people want to dance too.
Right.
People want to get up. They just don't want to do it on their own.
Right. They don't want to be the first one.
They don't want to be the one starting.
They don't want to break the ice.
At A&T, literally, y'all, they play go-go. They what they call it, nigga stocks. They don't call them nothing else. What they call DC. Come on up here. And he just every time.
There you go.
Because it's like, for one, I never really been scared to have fun. I think that's the real thing. Not even scared to dance, but scared to have fun. Like, if I used to think about it like this, if we just spent $5 for this party, why am I not have fun? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and come and not dance or not enjoy myself. I just spent $5. We in high school at the time, so you know that was my lunch money. You feel me? So it's like,
I'm the same way now. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I'm gonna go enjoy, even when we go to the club and shit. I tell people that all the time. Why the fuck we going to the club to look cool, pose, and be statues, man?
Right.
Because then the thing is, we ain't even going general. We doing sections. All right. So we put some money towards this club. We about to go have for Snacks. You see every section. I'm making sure we gonna get turned. Somebody, they sitting down. Guess who's standing up, turned up? Yeah, my money's worth. You feel me? Like, but not. And I was gonna say, like, and it's a great thing that we get that exposure. We get to have that one in a lifetime. Not even one in a lifetime, but having that chance to get that good exposure, because you only have one life, right? But let's talk about some of the challenges you kind of face with your business, because I've planned trips before. Like I've attempted to plan trips. Me and him both can say in the group, like we got a group message. We will plan trips every year. I would say from the recent years, they have been working. Like people are aligning together. In college or anything else, that shit ain't work. The only time we had one plan work was the next level beach, the little South Beach little trip Miami.
We didn't really plan that. Like we didn't plan that
next level. That's why I need to come on Married to Travel trips.
We for sure gonna have to. We for sure coming on one of them. We got
y'all ain't even got worried. We got y'all.
See, but like it's that's like it's a lot of like thinking you gotta do too, because for one, you gotta account for the amount of people that you're gonna have, right? I did like a little birthday trip from on my B-Day last year, right? And my BA for y'all listen this week, my BA gonna be on the episode that's dropping. So yeah, show some love. But look, I did a trip last year, and it was like nothing when it's planned, like nothing, because like people would be like, "All right, I'm coming." Then like they surprisingly pop up, and it's like, "All right, I didn't like when you tell me you're not coming, I didn't accommodate for you." So then it's like, "All right, I'm not gonna make one person forfeit, so that I have to like improvise to do something." And like, granted, I had a good friend. We had a good friend group where it's just like whatever we did, we made the best out of it. But it was just those struggles, trying to transportation, places for people to stay, where we can get something to eat. Because getting a reservation for like 13 people, that ain't like no walk in the fucking park.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like, what's some struggles that you went through?
So some of the struggles that we currently face are definitely with accommodations. So like this is about to be our first full year in business come July. And like we don't be knowing what outcome we're gonna have on every trip, because it's so funny. Me and my partner, I could not run this business without my co-founder like at all. I'm really thankful for her. But it's so funny because she's a bit of the more level-headed one, and I'm the one that's just always like, "Yo, we about to have 50 people show up to this next trip. It's about to be freaking crazy!" Like just going crazy. Like I'm just always super excited. I'm like, "God got us. We gonna have a booking." And then we get the bookings, and it's only like 10. I'm like, I mean, it's cool.
Right.
It's cool. We're going to make do with this. Like, we're going to make it do.
Right.
So it's so funny though. So that's all to say, like, we may plan for a bigger group and then have a smaller group. And now we have to completely change accommodations because the budget is for this much larger group. Or let's talk about now we're on the flip side of things now that we're actually having more recognition and people booking our trips. Now, our last trip, I finally humbled myself. I was like, all right, it's going to be 12 people. I'm cool with 12. Like, they going 12. We're going to get 12 bookings. We got 21. I was like, what the, like, okay, well, like.
Hold on, Rogie did that.
21. 21.
I was like, it was so funny though, because I'm like, okay, well, now we have to completely change the budget again. We have to find new accommodations. And that's pretty much basically the biggest challenge that we face right now is since we're not able to pay for accommodations before people book, we have to just have an idea of what accommodations we want to use and then wait for people to book the accommodations. However, they can get taken.
Right.
So for example, with our DR trip, we had it planned where we had this big this big compound with 3 villas on it, where all of the guests would have been able to be on one place. But at the last minute, when we booked the place, they ended up saying that, they are double booked. So they took the reservation away from us a month before the trip, and we had to find 2 villas now for our guy side of the group and our girl side of the group. So at the last minute, having to change these reservations and then remembering we're always going to provide the same quality. We're never going to be able to lower our quality because of a mishap like that. And then we also don't want to refund people last minute and be like, we can't take you on this trip anymore. So that can really be a challenge. And then another big challenge that me and my founder are just like noticing now is every place is different, especially in the price of what things may cost there. So in Costa Rica, we may have spent $1,000 or $800 on alcohol, and that was able to make sure the whole house of 20 people was able to drink for 4 days straight. In DR, the alcohol is more expensive, so $800 doesn't cut it. Right. So now we may have a larger budget, but we were only budgeting for this amount, So playing around with our budget and, adding a little bit more to it just in case, having that just in case fund. playing around even with our bookings, how long we leave stuff open, our deposit prices. Like our first year in business, we're figuring a lot of things out and figuring out like when to roll things out. Because again, I'm the excited person where I'm like, yo, let's drop the products, let's drop this, let's drop that. Right. And my business partner is like, all right, Key, hold on, like let's stay on track, like keep on track. But I'm like, it's great that we and her have that balance, because it's great that I'm excited, like it's good. But you know, we could roll things out slower so that we have more things to roll out for a longer time, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of challenges with the travel thing. And I think the best part though is we feel like we're well equipped to deal with these challenges because we're well-versed travelers at this point. So the same problems that you're saying you face, you don't want to deal with that shit, especially with all your friends. Like, let us deal with it. Like, we'll deal with it. And this is what we do. Like, so we're
I
cool
love the free promo. I love the quick advertisement right there.
Very quick and subtle.
Come on, you know, I love it.
We'll handle it for you.
See, two things. One, I don't even think if you peep how drunk this nigga is, because he picked up the champagne bottle off the sneaky, just crushed it real fast, and that's just
wait, I missed that part.
And second,
my cup a little bad.
Nah, see, you ain't been drinking with us. It's we couldn't really be, we ain't doing the roguies because you know.
Yeah, I've been crushing
this.
It takes literally look at this.
Respect.
Okay, but see, like, look, you see how I was all the way up here. I was all the
way. Mine was too. You see all that juice around the rim?
Okay. I see. Okay.
We ain't gonna question it no more. And then, but this is my second question though. So, with my second statement. Well, this is a question. Don't worry about me. I'm drunk. So, this is my second thing. So basically, is there any time where you talked about how they cancel like a month before? And I know when trips. Some shit cancel, you try to find something a month before, prices, they go up. At times, do you have to like, because you want to like, you know, make sure that you uphold the same value to your customers, make sure, and like you said, you don't want people to kind of pay more. Do you at times have to eat the cost and just so that to promote the business, or is it, you know?
So our first trip that we ever planned, the Costa Rica trip, we definitely ate the cost of a lot of things, because when we planned that trip, we were just thinking of it. Well, first and foremost, that trip, we didn't like advertise it. It was going to be something where we just ask our friends if they'll support us. Let us plan this trip for them. This will be the cost. And y'all will come and we'll have a photographer come and this will look like our first official trip. So when we planned that trip, it was funny because we were like, we sent out a poll and was like, how much would you pay for a trip of this long or whatever? And of course, everyone put the cheapest price. Like, who the fuck gonna say, yeah, I'll pay $1,500? Like, so everybody was like 800. So we were like, all right, we're gonna make it $800 a person. And when I tell y'all, this was the hardest trip ever to plan, because not only did we not have enough money in our budget for the stuff that we really wanted to do, like we were new to this, and people started dropping out. So people started dropping out of the trip, like a lot of the guests that had paid. So we would have to replace them and be like, all right, we're just going to tell this person they only have to pay the remainder of what the last person had just finished paying and stuff. So that trip, we definitely had to put a lot of money forward. But one thing that I say, I'm really excited about this business, and I have a lot of faith in this business. And so does my co-founder. Like, we are so willing to invest into this company because we just know, like, we just have, I don't know, like I said, I just know that God is with me with everything I do, and this company is going to be very big. Like, I know Married to Travel is going to be very big. So if I have to invest my money into it in the beginning, I have no problem. We haven't had that problem happen again yet, but that first time we definitely were cutting. Like for what we provided, if you go look at the stuff we provided, we didn't charge a lot at all compared to what we charge now. So
I think that's crazy though, because we experienced that in the beginning. We took an L on the early fucking promotion we was doing nonetheless. But my last question for real, like, is what keeps you going though? Like, you're a college graduate, you can go get a job right now, you're intelligent, you have your own background in trading, you can go find a job now. Like, why haven't you gotten to that point? You know what? Well, I'm gonna go work now and I'm gonna try to do this later. Like, why haven't you gotten to that point yet?
Well, it's funny you ask because I have been looking at jobs lately and I want to explain my thinking, like what my thinking has changed over the years. So originally I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. I mean, I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I wanted to have my own business and stuff, but I just always had this idea of I don't want to work. Being an entrepreneur is work. It's real work. It's not 9 to 5. It's freaking 9 to 9. It's all day. It's 24/7. You're working all the time. And it's like you have to be so invested into your vision and believe so much into this vision that like that's what's gonna make you get up every day because no one's gonna tell you what to do when you're an entrepreneur. And that's the real hard part about it, honestly, is that every day you have to make that decision on are you going to work on your business because nobody's going to like your business can go to shit for all anybody else cares. No one cares if your business fails or not. So you have to wake up every day and put the work in. So originally my thoughts back then were just I just want to be a full-time entrepreneur, all of this because it sounded and it looked cool. But now I kind of really realize for the goals that I have in life, the things that I want to accomplish, having that extra source of income, the stable job security.
It's crazy. It's like everybody's all gotten that
enlightenment. It's nothing wrong with it. And it's funny because like I said, I used to be this person where I don't want to work. And I still don't want to work necessarily. However, I understand that I have to make sacrifices at this age while I'm very young and able-bodied and have room to work for the goals that I have. I do want to retire before I'm 30. And I know that I can do that with the business ventures I have. And if I went and got that stable job security, because when it comes time to get homes and invest in stuff like that, that job security going way over your entrepreneur check. When you go to the bank and you try to get a house.
And just a side note, you cannot get a house or a loan or anything without a W-2 on paper.
Well, so it doesn't have to be a W-2.
No, it don't have to be a W. If you you can do a W-9. You could do like a W-9 if you're an entrepreneur, but you gotta have W-9.
Yeah, you can do a W-9. And I think as well as showing bank statements as well as having that, you're able to do that as well. But they'll approve of you with a bigger loan, just having job security.
If they see the W-2 though, like as they said, that's not the only way. Yeah. But if you know how America is set up, you understand the value of the W-2.
The W-2, it outweighs a lot when it comes to getting those loans and stuff, especially for me at my age. Like, I just don't have as much as some of these entrepreneurs that have $500,000 in their bank account already. I ain't there yet. So right now, with me wanting to invest into real estate and do all of those things, because I know right now, these years for me is just straight about investing, like I said. So even the money I make with Forex, straight invest that into stocks and other stuff that will make me more money. Everything that I do, I want to invest that into something that can make me more money because like I said, by the time I'm 30, I want to then be able to say, okay, I don't need to work this job. Like everything that I have put away and have working for me is good to go. Like I don't have to do that. So it's funny, like right now I have been looking at jobs again and it's been interesting because I always go back and forth with myself. I'm like, you don't need to work, but it's not about needing to work. It's about making that sacrifice for my overall bigger picture of everything I want to accomplish. So yeah, I've been looking at jobs.
Facts. Because everything you just said on job like was definitely important, but especially with the house shopping. Because I'm doing that now. I'm trying to do a duplex house hacking, and right now, like you said, stocks the W-2. That show a lot of especially what you got in your bank account as well. Like you gotta save the bread for the bank account so you can show that to your investors that. But your investors really want to make sure that like, all right, well, like you're secure, like. All of these payments, you can make these payments. So definitely, like you definitely was right about that. And I think in this generation, we just hit a mindset that we're gonna use the jobs as another source of income as source about
that's all it's intended to be.
Our only income, just another source, and we're gonna use them like how they use us. Because at the end of the day.
I'm happy that that's what people are finally thinking now, though, because originally it was just, I'm going to work at this job, slave at this job, not have no work-life balance, not have time to focus on my business and all of these things. And like, when I first graduated, I did have a job, but I ended up quitting that job once I realized that I was able to sustain myself, but I wasn't thinking about the bigger picture at the time. Like, I was just thinking like, oh, I can just live like this for right now and just do what I want to do. But going back to that bigger picture and thinking like, damn, I want to get houses. I want to be able to get all these investments and stuff like that. It would be better to have that job security. But I'm happy that people are finally like not just like a slave to their job and realizing like this is just another stepping stone to get you to where you want to go.
Absolutely.
For sure. And then look, man, I think this is like a great episode right here.
This felt like family. I don't know why this felt like we had a family talk.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a good little vent session, right? Honestly, because we got a lot of good points off that people do need to understand. And the main thing, they need to go ahead and book their trips.
If y'all planning anything, give them Married to Travel.
Come on.
Listen,
give them Married to Travel.
They coming after y'all.
Y'all better be on a trip.
Huh? Oh no,
for sure. No, we hate planning. Like we real hate planning. Like trust me.
Y'all better be on a trip.
1,000%, you got us. It's just like because as long as like they plan out good timing, I'm gone. I'm gone. Trust me.
We have a great time. Like that's what I love about Married to Travel. The new people I meet every trip, I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, and everybody ends up being family after the trip. Like, comment on each other's photos, planning their own link ups on the side. Like, it's amazing. Like, I really love what I'm doing.
We might do a road shows of vlog with Married to Travel. Hey, you never know.
That would be lit. That would be lit.
Look, y'all, it's D.
Stacks.
Do I say me, Key?
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, look, we out, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right, we out.
Judge unless you in my reason. Remember as a child, I hated Christmas, that's the worst season. The only gift I ever got was freedom. I'm not really worried about my